Hello fellow doodlers! Today I will be showing you my 7th sketchbook. But before we get started, I want to give a little shout out to someone I met while I was finishing up this sketchbook. I met her while I was feeling really down on my art, like my art wasn't worthy enough to be posting on social media, like I wasn't drawing good enough, I wasn't drawing enough, I was just really at a very low on my art. And I met this girl at a teenager get-together that I was at, and I was actually the one who went and talked to her, so go me. But she asked to see my sketchbook, and she looked through a lot of it, and she was talking about how good I was and how great my characters were, and she really just bumped me up to the height that I really should be at. My art is good, and I'm so very happy that I met her. She's been so supportive of me since I met her, and I hope that we can be good friends someday. So, hello if you're watching this. You probably don't know I'm talking about you, but hello, and thank you for supporting me and my art and really getting me back up on my feet with my art style. Alright, on to the video. So, this is a Artica note sketchbook, and I used acrylic paint to paint on the cover. This is my spider Sona. It has this little nice elastic band to shut it. It has a square shape, and I left the back empty, but there is this Artica note and their website. You can visit the website, but it doesn't have much on it. Alright, let's get started with my sketchbook tour. This is the date I finished it. I started January 8th, 2021 and finished on June 30th, 2021. This here, in case you're wondering, is the mermaid prompt list for this year. I didn't get that far, but I still printed it out and put it on here. But now I'm seeing a May 12th dragon. I am so going to do that one now. I don't care if it's not mermaid. So here's my welcome page. I have my spider Sona, and I have my goals. I normally do this in all of them, and my goals for this sketchbook was fan art, face variety, animals, and making stories for my OCs. I didn't really get into the animal aspect that much, but oh well. This is the first page of my sketchbook, and I did a lot of pen sketches on this because of this nasty little crease or whatever it is. It just like pulls the paper aside. There's all this space back here, and I didn't want to start my sketchbook on this page, so I did some pen sketches of my stuffed animal. He doesn't actually look like this. He's a bunny rabbit, and I drew him as a human. And those are just some random sketches. Alright, so here's where I started the 100 face challenge. I didn't finish that either. But I did get pretty far, and this actually did help with my face variety. I highlighted the ones that I liked, and later learned that don't highlight them in any higher color. I also didn't like it because there were a lot of statues, and that bugged me. So I highlighted these in a darker color, which I suggest you not do because it really brings away from the sketches. That's one a statue, that one's a statue, that one's a creepy little doll. But I didn't like the board that I found these on, so I was like, well, maybe I can just find my own faces. That's what I tried here. None of these are actually statues, but after this page, I just gave up. It was not very enjoyable for me, but I did learn a lot while doing it. Here, I was trying to design a character based on a character design challenge. I have all these like specifications here. She was going to be like a dwarf teenage girl, but I stopped pretty quick. This was a sketch that I was going to do of her, but didn't manage to do that. This is a spoiler for my channel, so keep that in mind. Ha 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 ha. Okay, now we have my failure of an acrylic painting. I mean, I didn't do very good on this, but I don't like acrylics, so hopefully I'll get better. And I just left this page blank because no reason. I just left it blank. OCs! Original character, in case you don't know what that means. Jenny Beach, Diana Wilson, Violet Rhea, and David Tin. If you want to know more about these characters, comment down below, and I'll maybe make a video on it in the future. Okay, so here are some of the animals that I did. I did some dogs. I can't remember the name of this one, sadly. And I know the name of this one, but it's not coming to my head at the moment. These are some pages from my Sketchbox review. I just taped them in here because it was another blank page and it was bugging me. Here I'm practicing on some bodies. I'm not very good at legs. Legs have bugged me for centuries. So I drew some female legs and some male legs. And then over here I did some body practices. Pen sketches! If any of you out there have seen Avatar: The Last Airbender, the TV show Instant Art, then you should know that these are actually bending poses. The boys are fire bending and the girls are water bending. I really liked how fluid the poses were, so that's why I did them. I was hoping it would help me with my stiffer poses and it would help me loosen up. And if I do these every now and then, it actually does help. So go look at those if you want to practice. This is Felicia Galoti, another one of my original characters. She's actually in a book I'm currently writing but do not have access to because I moved and my computer is not available at the moment, but she's a fun character. Here I was working on a commission for a YouTube channel logo. This is the logo for Hall Homestead, and although I tried out like different animals and stuff, I ended up going with this one here, but the letters were gold. They changed it again now, so it's not there anymore, but oh well. More OCs! Okay, so I didn't color these or line art them, or at least line art my favorite one. Whoops. This is Silver, Ammo, and Red. They're apocalyptic story characters, and here are like little notes that I drew of them, trying to figure out their story. And here are some winter-themed sketches. I wanted to draw a lot of girls in like ear mittens and poofy jackets. This one didn't turn out very good, sadly. Like, her hands are supposed to be blowing snowflakes, like, at you, like this kind of, but like facing you. So her hands didn't turn out so good. Oh well. Okay, so over here I was going to do like a little bitty like comic strip or something of me and my sister, but I didn't finish it because apparently that's just a theme in this sketchbook. And then over here on this other page, I drew a pigeon. I can't remember the name of the pigeon, but my Bible study group had challenged all of us, who are all of us pretty artistic, to draw a Hawaiian pigeon. And I thought this one kind of looked colorful and Hawaii-like, but I ended up being the only one who did it. More OCs! Yeah, they're going to appear a lot here. So this one here on the left is my D&D character that I can't remember the name of right now, but she's like a rogue, and I've developed her whole storyline, and I still haven't gotten to play her yet because I still don't know how to play the game. And then you have Gail Arlock. She's another character, not a D&D character, and this is her little sidekick up here. I just kind of doodled him during a Bible study session because they were taking forever to talk about one topic. And see here, I can't tell if you can tell, but this graphite on this other page smudged onto the crayon that I used for her face. Oh well, it looks like she got into dirt. Okay, my little brother Will, who you have yet to see but should soon, challenged me to draw some DC Justice League characters, and since I'm better at girls, I decided to draw Black Canary, Wonder Woman, and Zatanna. Next here you have Hades from the Disney movie Hercules, because my next younger brother, John, challenged me to draw a Disney villain. And then over here you have some of my OCs. You have Henry, who's a half dragon, and my first male OC. Kata, my dragon fairy. Jenny Beach, who you saw earlier. You have Catherine from a Neverland, or a Peter Pan retelling that I'm doing, Gail, and Melody. And over here, I'm trying out some of my new Prismacolor Kohl Erase pencils. Up here, I tried like what eraser worked on them, and then I did a blending test, and I compared them with like my Prismacolor, regular ones, and my Arteza. My face variety was getting a little sloppy, so over here I drew a whole bunch of like different shaped eyes, mouths, and noses. And on the other page it was blank, so I taped in some flowers from my old property before I moved. Okay, so on this bit here I was doing some posing practice because of school. We were working on comics, and that led to this one here, which was a Disney lesson, and I was going to design my own character, which I'm pretty good at that. So I drew all like my color scheme, my notes, and that led to this amazing character, Kata. She has to be the most unique character I have ever made, but she is a dragon fairy, and I've developed her whole story, maybe not her whole story, but the basics of her character and her personality, and so I did a few sketches of her, and I freaking loved her. Still do. More OCs! Okay, do not ask me their names. I have not named them yet. So here you have the bad guy of the Gale Arlock story. Since I drew this, I actually changed his character and story up a bit. I mean, he still looks the same, but I've still changed him. And then I have her sidekick here, which I tried to draw in like different poses, but not very good at that yet. Random sketches because I was bored, so like some illustration ideas. And then on the other page I have like some dandelion and daffodils and some random Kohl Erase sketches. Mermaid begins. The first prompt of Mermaid was angelic, and I actually posted a video on that one. So when I first did it, I was thinking, well, what if I made her blonde, there's silver, and there's gold. That's what I think of when I think of an angel. But I thought of this one. What if she was a black mermaid, and the color contrast of her dark skin and hair against her gold tail would be awesome. Okay, next I have the eager. So I was going to do like a little animal or a fish that was like eager for the food the mermaid had. But then I was like, I'm not really sure about that. So what if I did like what I'm used to? And I ended up going with this one here, which is like a mermaid eagerly leaning forward. And I have this one on my social media, but not on YouTube. Okay, so I didn't really do this one. I mean, I sketched it, but I didn't do it. So I was gonna like draw one with like pink hair looking sweet. I was gonna draw like a sweet couple, or maybe like a mermaid eating candy or messing with candy. Oh well. This has nothing to do with it. This is actually a few like concept sketches for a character that I was working on. I have her sheet on my social media as well. Okay, so here I got my goats, and I was trying to draw them as people, but I didn't get very far. So, yeah, oh well. I hope on doing this again and actually recording me drawing my goats as humans, but this is the next prompt for Mermaid, which is Star Wars. I was going to design my own because I didn't want to go like Leia Mermaid or something like that. This is a style study. I had gotten an Asia Ladoska sketching book from my library, and it showed all her sketches and art styles and stuff, so I kind of studied her. Here are some body practices. Okay, so this is the 5th one, lunch break for mermaid, and I was like gonna go do like 2 mermaids eating and then I quit. Yep. And I started working on this fairy here. She is a fire fairy that belongs to Kada, my dragon fairy story, and I've also developed her story and personality a bit as well. Like, she can't control her element. That's why she's a loner. But if you want to know more about her, go ahead and ask. Here I was going to draw the two together, like Kada behind her and my fire fairy protecting her. And then I have my metallic watercolor paintings that I got on top. And then over here I have sketches that I did for my property. I just kind of practicing on my backgrounds and stuff. Here I was going to do a Tamataka art style. Sorry if I'm not pronouncing your name right. But then I realized her style looks an awful lot like mine already, so I just stopped it at that. Over here I was planning a watercolor painting that I never did. Some more studies, like these two men up here. I was trying to draw like the same gender but try to make them look as different as possible. And then over here I just kind of did some pose studies. So you probably can't see these because of how light they are, but I redid some of my OCs in a different outfit. Like here's my D&D character, and then the blue one is Ada, one of my witch characters, and then there's Jenny Beach, but you can't really see her. Here is a rabbit sketches because I was asked for a commission of a rabbit, and so I was trying to figure out what I would draw them like. Here I'm redesigning one of my characters. I actually didn't get very far in the redesign stage, but this is Ada. She's my witch character. At least I think she's a witch. I actually don't really know what the heck she is. I drew some models, doing some pose studies and facial expression studies, and basically just practicing. Okay, so my sister got a chibi kind of book, so I redid a lot of the chibis in there in my own style. And then on this next page I have Melody, which is a character from one of my many stories. She's a half cyborg in a dystopian world. Did I just say half cyborg? Oh my gosh, I'm a dork. This is another commission. I was supposed to design like a little kitty menu and then a sign for a kitchen. And then on the other side I have a actual witch character. I'd seen a picture on Pinterest and it was like a mushroom witch, and I was like, oh my gosh, I want to design a plant witch. And her design actually got really far, I just never got around to coloring her. Pen sketches, testing out my watercolors on this paper because I missed them. Okay, more spoilers for my channel. I was trying to draw a chibi version of myself, and I'm not going to release any more spoilers, but this sketch here is a picture of my mom who asked for a commission of herself as a chibi. More OCs! Okay, so this is silver and ammo, which I did actually color a bit at least. Body sketches, trying to practice out my poses. Here I was designing like what I wanted to do for my watercolor video, and I settled on my mermaid OC. I believe her name is Vanessa. I've only recently named her. And then here are some more body sketches, face sketches, kind of random. Characters! Okay, here's Todoroki from My Hero Academia, Buffy from Buffy the Vampire Slayer, Willow from Buffy and the Vampire Slayer, and 2 of my OCs that didn't actually come out very right, so I probably won't draw them again. Oh well. Deku, or from My Hero Academia, and a random girl that I decided to sketch, and a body pose because I drew bodies. Oh well. Studio Ghibli characters. You have Arrietty, Sun, and Sophie. This is for my video designing a character challenge with my little brother Neb, and this is the character that I came up with. Go watch that video if you're curious about seeing more. More fan art of My Hero Academia. You have Deku, Todoroki, and Bakugo. And then I have this watercolor thing that I had. I really liked the character's pink hair, so I decided to make that like my main focal point, and then like have the rest of her as like a gray dual color. So this person here is actually Marinette from Miraculous Ladybug, which I hadn't started watching when I drew this, but I am now, and I think it's a great show. I'm hooked. And then over here, I have a few of my grungy OCs, and I drew them together, like, they all have, like, the same characteristics and stuff. My Fire and Dragon Fairy. Fire Fairy now colored. Pose studies. Pose studies. Hand studies. Whatever the heck, pencil sketches on this side. The Random Blob Challenge, which I used my watercolors for. I didn't fill in a few of them, but oh well. Okay, so over here I was designing like a zombie kind of character that I failed on later. And then over here I was doing the 3 marker challenge. I ended up going with this bottom one here. Only 3 markers, yes! Some random sketches that I just sketched. Me practicing my angry expressions, like the angry yelling ones, are my absolute favorite. Okay, so for this page, I wanted to draw curvy people, so I drew curvy people. And on this next page, I was having a really rough day, so I kind of like drew myself. So the first one is like, I'm tired. And this one is, why can't this video edit itself? It's kind of stressful editing all these videos. Here is a warlock character of mine that I was designing for D&D. And here are some cheapified versions of my OCs. You have Ada, Henry, Silver, and Jenny Beach. Okay, so here's some sketches for a character design that I was trying to do. She really wouldn't work for me, but this is Lily, and this is Thaddeus. And these are 2 of my favorite OCs at the moment. Probably will be replaced soon, but right now they're my favorites. And this is the end. This page over here is really just nothing. It's just like random bloops and stuff. Thanks for staying with me, guys, throughout this whole video, and I hope you enjoyed the video. Remember to leave a like before you leave, and I'll see you next week. Bye!